For the average person, indie games no longer look like this, but this instead. And that is a problem. There's a worrying and growing disconnect between what indie games truly are versus what expectations are making them. The real issue here isn't the debate of what the word independent means these days, as it long lost its origins, rather the thinking that those are made for the cheap. The average indie game is made during off hours, usually with no or very little budget, with a solo or tiny team. Games like Hades, Expedition 33 or Dispatch, which we now think of as indies, have dozens of staff on payroll, more listed under credits, and millions of dollars in budget. This way of thinking comes at a price of expectations the average developer cannot afford to meet, like having voice actors or a marketing budget, or high fidelity visuals with stunning animations. Suffice to say that all of it costs time, labor and production resources, only viable in a corporate setting. What's worse is that the industry is shrinking at an alarming pace, and that the pure corporate sentiment of chasing numbers is destroying what's left of the indies, and is widening the gap between hobbyists and AAA. And it's not like anyone inside is willing or can do anything about it. Most players don't even know about the ongoing layoff crisis or how even publishers and studios are shutting down left and right. The situation is bleak, because the moment you wish to make games full-time, publishers suddenly demand extremely high prerequisites, essentially only swooping in by the time your game is already successful, betting on sure bets and taking their share of the top of Steams, taxes, etc. This excessive need for traction and good pedigree with adequate connections is mostly out of reach for the ordinary dev. It's harder than ever to get funding, and most publishers are only willing to spend money on marketing and nothing else. The same has happened in Hollywood with the disappearance of medium budgets and the rise of reboots, sequels, and so forth. Creativity has been slowly squeezed into this mush of bland, shallow, and inauthentic corporate paste that aims to please everyone yet does none. While the work of these larger teams are still very much admirable, as making good games is still very hard and takes a lot of time and talent, it also quietly burying the option for smaller teams to break out if they are framed as small indies. Investors, publishers, while the whole industry no longer cares about rising from the bottom, especially not hiring juniors, and mostly favor those at the top with good social connections. If you can't bootstrap it yourself, drive you into massive debts to make that minimum viable product in hopes that someone will fund your project, then you are out of luck. In the end, while the average consumer doesn't really recognize how everything behind the scenes is eroding, it certainly will show its mark in the final product. Question is, will anything be done to stop this, or are we going to stand still and watch?